basically that it's over. If it is on path to, it will definitely within this, if it this week, this month, it will overtake the PS3 in terms of sales.
So yeah, I actually got news that it actually already overdid. I have the notes I got. It was they hit the 83 million mark, and it overshot the PS3.
Damn. So I was only at 82. So yeah, but I mean that's impressive. Now whether it the question is will it catch up to the PlayStation 1 and will it catch up to the PlayStation 2? I know the PS2 is the all-time best-selling game console. Right behind it, depending on how you look at it, the Nintendo DS.
Yep, the Nintendo DS.
Right.
PlayStation 2's at 155 million, with the DS at 154 million, right below it.
Yep, and then so the PS1 I think was 100 and.
Hold on, I gotta.
I think I don't think it will catch up to the PS2. I can't say that definitely because you never know if it. No, the reason the PS2 sold as much as it did is because when the PS3 came out, that last year or two, when they dropped that PS2 down to $99, that's when people bought it up, and that's where they got a big bulk of their.
Plus, also back then they didn't have a huge competition. Like it was the Xbox and PlayStation 2 kind of. That was a 360 at the time. There wasn't a whole bunch of the GameCube. Wasn't really. No one really bought that. That was what they were competing with. So all the Nintendo fans came. They had 360 or PlayStation 2, and a lot of them came for PlayStation 2 because it was. That's where a lot of its sales came from too. That's what bumped it up huge.
Well, that's where the games too. Well, if you go back in history too, like we were talking the other day about what was it, the Final Fantasy game that came to the PS2 instead of.
I don't like talking about that one.
And a lot of people, that's what, because Nintendo was supposed to have those exclusives, and then Sony ended up getting them, which is why a lot of people also jumped ship back then. They were like, hey, this is where the games we want to play are at.
Yeah,
that's
following the RPG market.
As successful as it was. But PS4, I do think will definitely break 100 million. No doubt.
Oh yeah. So I actually have news on that already too. They're So while they hit 83 million, and right after they passed the PS3, they came out and a little announcement, and they said that they already expect to ship a total of 17 million before the end of the financial year next March. That means that they're expecting to do incredibly well in the next quarter, and likely on backing on games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Spider-Man. Big PlayStation exclusives backing them,
so I think it can hit. I think it might ultimately sit comfortably. Like I said, I don't think it's going to outsell the PS2 at this time, but I
definitely
do think
not the PS2, but it might
125 million.
I'm thinking it'll come up, maybe take the PlayStation 1, but definitely not the PlayStation 2. But they do have big plans for it to bring its sales up before they officially end the PlayStation 4. With the note of the Spider-Man game coming out, they have a Spider-Man. Sony plans to release a Spider-Man themed PlayStation 4 on the launch of the game that everyone's hyped for. And Spider-Man's releasing on September 4th exclusively to the PlayStation 4, which will help PlayStation 4 sales dramatically.
They did that with what was it? The PS3 had a Spider-Man edition as well.
Did it? I didn't. I could have. Yeah.
Yeah, they had. I believe they did, because I believe that was one of them that I had, because I bought it at a pawn shop. And
yeah, that'll help.
But yeah, speaking of sales, also we can't yet. Well, no one knows what Microsoft is doing these days, so that's Microsoft is notorious for not re-releasing their sales, so it's kind of a guess. I think they're still sitting around 30-some million, but that's not great. And Nintendo is actually finally doing well, but the thing I'm wondering is if that momentum can carry, because right now they're sitting at just about 20 million for lifetime of the Switch, which has outsold the Wii U. Within the next month, will outdo the GameCube, so that's good on that level. year, in the fiscal year, I think if they can push to that 35 million mark, then it will overtake the 64 as well, and 64 as well, which would be good.
Yeah. That one's sitting at 33 million sales, so it definitely will overtake that one.
I think it's if they have because right now they're on track. They're similar to what they were doing last year at this time. As far the sales numbers aren't exactly the same, but they're still very much close, similar. And if they get that on the holiday, if they can get it on the holiday, last year around the holiday, I think they did 7.5 million for the holiday. Don't quote me on that. So I'm saying if they can with Pokemon. Ghetto Pokemon, not as people calling it like ghetto Pokemon because it's not a full-fledged, because it's just the yellow remake.
Yeah.
If that can push well, and with Super Smash Brothers, then they might hit 10 million sold for the holiday season. I mean,
the holidays are always really big. So,
it will be interesting to see, especially now because it's been out a bit longer. We potentially have. I'm not saying there's going to be a price drop, but I think Friday could potentially bring a temporary $50 drop. That's something they might do. I doubt it, but it's something they could do. If not, a very appealing bundle. Because as far as sales and games, they have Super Mario Odyssey sold nearly 12 million copies, which is on track to become the best-selling Mario game of all time. I don't have the exact number in front of me for what currently is the best-selling Mario game, but I would assume, main story Mario game, that is, not counting Mario Kart, which would be like the Wii version of Mario Kart selling 36 million. So, and then they said I think Breath of the Wild sold 10 million, and there was a couple other ones that were over the million seller. That's where Nintendo's strongest is their first party. Their first party games do sell, so I mean, where they kind of sometimes lack everywhere else and sometimes fail, their first party games generally do well. It will be interesting to see how that plays out. But there's a rumored, on that note, there's a rumored direct going to be happening not tomorrow, but the day after. They're saying the 3rd. If you Google Nintendo Direct, August 3rd was coming up on the latest thing, and it was funny, and it said in 2 days, and then I don't know if that was fixed yet, but that was a thing, so that led to rumors, there might be a direct, which they're due for one, because they do need to announce what's going on for winter, because depending on what they do with the holiday and what they have coming for the winter, that will help determine if the Switch can continue its momentum. I lost you. Where'd you go?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm just listening to the Nintendo. I googled the Nintendo Direct and just checking it out.
I don't know if it still shows that. I wonder if it's still if I Google it up, because it was it said Nintendo Direct March 8th. 2018, but then in the bottom left of the corner it said August 3rd, 2018. I don't know if that was a Google mistake or Google here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they got. I know what was it?
Yeah.
I saw.
See, now when I Google it, it says I don't know if you can. Where it says in 2. Well, I'm not gonna be able to see that, but somewhere on there it says in 2 days, right on the Nintendo.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it.
In 2 days. So I don't know if that's just Google reading the date backwards for people who don't use the American system, because that would be the date backwards if you were doing the month instead of the month day, the day month.
Possible.
So.
And I know Nintendo did have quite a few good things coming out. They had I saw their current best-selling game right now was the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. That was their biggest selling game right now. Their biggest push for them of their new games that came out. That game, I didn't see the sales, but that was one that they were competing with how much software they sold out, and that was one that was up there.
Yeah, there's a couple different ones that were, like I said, Odyssey was their top seller. It's called Breath of the Wild, and this is just physical because Nintendo for some reason doesn't announce digital sales. I don't know why, but they don't.
Oh, I think this was. Yeah, I think this was part of their digital, maybe.
But yeah, so then Breath of the Wild, of course, being up there, and that's only counting the Switch version. If you factor in the Wii U version, you probably have about 2 million on there, so that actually brings it to 12 million. But I don't count the Wii U version. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe actually selling 10 million as well. That's another one. So, you know, even though some of the franchises are tired and they're repetitive, they you know, they'll still.
Here we go.
Shockingly, Kirby hitting 2 million was a shocker because usually Kirby games don't sell very well, so I was surprised to see that.
It was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze sells 1.4 million in more. It's faster than they anticipated. It was just, I think it was a week long time, and it sold 1 million copies.
Yeah, that's what not bad for a port that not a lot of people were looking for. So. And I think Splatoon 2 was another high seller. I think that was close to 7 million. Might have been 6.5 or something like that. But that's mostly from Japan. Japan loves Splatoon. I don't know why they love it so much, but they do love it.
Yeah,
I like it, but I don't love it.
I never got behind it. I never got into Splatoon.
It's interesting, but it's one of those things that kind of gets repetitive, I guess. That's why I'm like, with Super Smash Brothers, I like it, but it gets repetitive.
Yeah, I feel the same. I can only play Smash for a little bit of a time, and then I gotta stop.
Yeah, that's why I was like, there's a couple games.
I actually, I said that,
those,
but I actually haven't played Smash Bros. Since the GameCube one. It's been 17, actually, probably about 15 years since I played Smash Bros. So I can't actually say anything.
The GameCube one, which is the pinnacle of all things that are amazing. Everyone loves that version.
The GameCube? I hear the Wii one everyone hated because you trip and fall down.
No, everyone like legit. They're like, oh, I love Melee, which was the GameCube one. They're like, that's the best one.
I'm with them. I love. That was my favorite one of them all. Well,
I thought that was the worst one. I don't know why, but I just did.
See, I looked at the Wii one, lost me completely. The Wii U one.
The Wii U one was trash too. The Wii U one was really good, so that's where I had gotten. That's my favorite one. Is the Wii U.
Wii U one. It didn't interest me much, but I liked that they had Cloud. That's the only thing that caught my interest with the Wii U one.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see where this new one's going because now it has every character ever and.
Yeah, kind of. I'm thinking this is kind of the person who's creating them. I know he wanted to quit for a long time, and he's keep getting forced back in to make a new game, and he keeps trying to quit. I think this one, adding all the characters, not the end of Smash Bros., but might be his way of tapping out and leaving the Smash Bros. Series.
Yeah,
finally.
This is like his farewell gift to the fans. Like, here's every.
So we might even see. Sorry, you're cutting out there.
I think they need a reboot. Like, if it is his last, that's his last one, and that's his farewell gift. And then I think it's the perfect time to do a reboot. Reevaluate. Go back to like the basics and go back to the, kind of start over a bit and see which characters are now best for the modern era and take it from there, and will be interesting to see how that works. But yeah, that's all I have for sales as far as that. Both Sony is doing really well right now. Nintendo's come back from the dead, from being Nintendo-doomed.
Skyrocketing up, and
so I mean, like I said, I know Sony will continue to perform well. I don't know how Nintendo will continue to do. I mean,
I think I already have predictions. The Switch is definitely getting 100 million sales with it. I can already tell you that. I know the Switch is going to move up with all the... Especially, everyone loves their Pokemon games. And once they have that new one, that's, Gen 1 again? Everyone jumps train all on the Gen 1. And when they do Gen 1 something after so many years, doing their other things, they bring Gen 1 back, everyone jumps right back into Gen 1 big time. So having that new game coming out for the Switch, that's all about Gen 1, right?
Oh well, that's just the thing too. Now they have the they have it kind of in the style similar to how Pokemon Go plays, with the catching mechanic. So and there's actually
Interesting.
integration into Pokemon Go, but you can like trade between Pokemon Go and Pokemon this version for the Pokemon Switch, which is going to be interesting to see how they do that. And Pokemon Go still has about 30 million active daily users, so will be interesting to see
And especially
if
with
those
what
daily users, you know.
Gen 4 is just coming out for Pokemon Go. They just did a little hint towards that.
Oh, they need Gen 4. They need it badly. They do.
Well, that's where they
That's
put out a
that's
poster
where-
where they were
that's-
hinting at it.
Yeah, I don't play as much as I used to because I'm waiting for Gen 4. Gen 3 didn't interest me at all. So
Well, I don't think you'll have much longer to wait. They had what was it? Celebi, I think its name was. They brought that out as a big legendary type thing.
yeah,
That you can only catch that one in AR
mythical.
mode. Have you caught that one, or have you not been playing for it with it yet?
No, because you needed to do these different tasks to get them. It was kind of how you had to do Mewtwo. You had to do these different tasks, and
Oh, get the what was it? Exclusive raid pass or something.
yeah, like you had to do the thing like you had to evolve a Magikarp. You have to catch a Ditto. You have to like do all these different things, and there's like 8 steps to them, and each one of them has 3 things tasks you have to do, and then by the time you get to the 8th one, some of them are ridiculous, like battle in 10 raids, walk 20 kilometers to hatch an egg, something like that, and so they got some annoying ones, but people who caught Mew like in the first 2 days because they did everything, and I'm like, you people need to get a life. I understand dedication, but well, there's a guy down here. He freaking I joined him at a raid, and he's like, "Oh, I do 30 raids a day," and I'm like, "Do you work? Like, what do you?"
Yeah, right. That's a little intense.
I'm not shitting you. So basically, he had a sheet of cardboard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 devices taped to the cardboard, and there he was doing the raid on 6 devices.
Wow. That's
Like,
a little. I mean, I'll admit,
do
I went
30
at
raids a day.
I went at 2 phones. I had my personal phone and a work phone that I got the game on. And I was going, but that's it for me.
There he is, like, with this sheet of card, blah, 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 blah. like a fucking crazy old lady at bingo with the dabbers, you know. And I don't know how he does 30. How does he have money to do 30 raids a day? Because that's like each raid pass is $1, and even when you bundle them, I
Yeah.
think you only get. So let's see, spending $30 a day to do 30 raids. There's 30 raids in this area, so.
So, real quick, here we got I'm just gonna change topic a little bit, but June's best-selling game. I just saw this. June's best-selling video game console was actually the NES Classic that came out.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that. I was gonna mention that. I didn't get the numbers for that, but yeah, I saw that and totally did not get the numbers. But that's because a lot of nostalgia is a big thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would get that because I loved SNES, NES games. They were back when I was huge into Nintendo. It slowly went down.
Now the more important part of that, I think, to me, is they released a new controller for it, and the controller has a button on it that you can press that will reset console. Because
Yeah, no, I played one of them, and yeah, there was. You start the game up and you click the reset, and it takes you back to the main menu.
yeah, you had to actually press the button on the console.
Yeah.
This one now has an option on the controller, and the controller is only like, I think it was, I saw it at Walmart the other day, so I know it exists. And yeah, I mean, that's a big thing, and that's well, $60. I mean, a little bit pricey for my liking, but you know, it's. I guess if you were to buy that as an actual like game, that's what they would be charging you anyway for a collection.
True.
So,
So you get 30 games for the price of what one new game would be now.
yeah, and But that's another reason people think that Nintendo's not going to really do much with virtual consoles, because they can release they can make more money by releasing, these classic consoles. And allegedly
that's a dangerous trap that they're walking in. That's what they end up doing with the Wii, and then look at the Wii U. They were more focused on their old school classic games that sold really well, and then the Wii U kind of dropped them way down. As long as they keep their Switch going new and strong.
The Wii U had nothing going for it. They had so many droughts with it, which was terrible, because it's like there was all the good games they had for it are now coming over to the Switch. So it's almost as if the Wii U didn't exist. So it's almost as if those 5 years didn't exist. But I mean, if you think about it, that's what it was. But now they're a little bit more steady with their content. I think they realized that was a mistake they were making, that they weren't releasing. So there's a little bit of a dry spell right now, but I think because they're anticipating Pokemon and Smash and there's a shit. What's that one? It's not a first party, but it is supposed to be an important release. I can't. Damn it. Totally forgot. But that's coming out too. So that's. I'll remember it later. I'll be like, that's what it was. But they're building out they're filling out their year very well, and then of course now, if winter's played right, they have Bayonetta coming out, new Bayonetta, new Yoshi game, new what is that other Metroid? Can't think of it. So those could be some games for next year, and
a lot of their basics, kind of.
Depending what else they have, Mario Maker. It's only a matter of time.
Another one? I don't know what they can actually do to add on to that.
I think they would just. I think they would just go the deluxe route, like they do with everything else. Maybe add something to it. Mario. The thing they are missing things. There's no slopes in the game, like the slopes from the Mario 3, like that you slide down to hit all the little penguins with. So that's one element that could add if they can do it. They could. I don't think they would want to, but they could add elements from Super Mario Run. So you can make runner type levels. They could. They're totally missing Doki Doki or Super Mario 2.
Doki Doki. So
we all know what it is.
When you
can't fool us.
We're going about 40 minutes here, so we're gonna wind this down here.
Yeah, we got on our little rant there somehow.
I'm actually gonna throw this on to Jesters Talk, Keeper Update, and then everything we just did recently here. We'll put on a little Jesters Talk, so let's break it up a little bit here. But when you get a new computer, another live stream we should get Overcooked. That game, it looks so goofy at first, but I've been watching more videos, and it actually looks more and more fun as I watch it.
Well, Overcooked 2 is coming out.
Well, that's probably the one. That might have been the one that I was.
Is it coming on PC too?
I think it was only on PC. I could be wrong. Let me check really quick.
Because I don't know what Overcooked 2 is what it's coming to right off here. Because I know it's coming to Switch. It's coming to PS4, Windows, and Xbox One.
Oh, see, I didn't know. I just saw PC here. I didn't know it was coming to them all.
I only knew that it was coming to Switch. I didn't know if it was coming to anything else, because I know there was. Oh, that's the fucking game That's what I was gonna say in the news. Damn it!
Oh yeah.
That horror game I was telling you about in the space.
What game?
The Hollow. Hollow 2 is launching as a Switch exclusive, but I'll remember. I'll get that in another one.
Do you have a release date on it?
No, because they don't have a release date on it yet.
Yeah, then we got a lot of time to still talk about it and bring it up. I'll have to check that out. I remember you telling me, but I told you I was going to look into it, and I still never looked into it.
You know what? It's not one that, because what was I saying? It was like someone was like, was it not Dead Space? Maybe it was. I don't know. A lot of people were saying it wasn't very good, but I don't know. I didn't play it, so.
A lot of people talk about horror games. You have their fan base, and then everyone who hates horror games, who usually have to have a say in horror type games.
I mean, people say Troll and I is a bad game just because it doesn't work. I mean, that's not fair. Just because you walk close to a cliff and then you end up falling through the floor for some reason and things don't load, and
that just makes the game that much more fun.
You can walk through trees for some reason. Just because all of those little overlooked glitches does not make it a bad game.
Yeah, I mean, look at Bethesda. All of their games, they're littered with glitches, but that makes their glitches make their game that much more better. Their glitches are hilarious. So, alright.
That's true.
We're gonna finish this up here. Ended up almost at 50 minutes here. So, until next time, see you guys. And if you liked what we talked about, you liked our video or contents, be sure to like and subscribe below.